My name is David Beamonte, and I am product manager for IoT and embedded systems at Canonical. And what I'm going to show you today is how to build enterprise-grade IoT and edge applications with EdgeX running on Ubuntu Core. As we just have 15 minutes, I will try to rush over a short intro, and after we will see a demo, which I'm sure will be much more interesting than my speech without just text. And so let's get right in. Well, I want to build an edge application, and what are my main concerns? Okay, there are many, of course, many of them, but I think that the most important ones are that we want to focus on our application and build a whole system, including the device and management platform, which is ultra reliable and easy to maintain so that we can reduce OpEx. So in summary, we want to accelerate time to market and forget about everything which is related to framework and so on. So for that purpose, we need an application framework, which is that allows us, our developers, to work fast, okay, which can be modular and scalable so that we can reuse some blocks or customize our products easily, which allows us to integrate easily the things, okay, such as sensors and actuators, but also which can have connectivity to the most popular cloud platforms by default, and also which allows us to integrate new platforms in a very easy way and friendly way. We may also need to do data manipulation because sometimes we need to take early decisions at the edge. And of course, moving data in an efficient way to increase performance and reduce data latency, which can also be critical for many applications. We also need a framework that allows us to maintain large fleets of devices easily. But that's only a part of the story. We also want to feel confident with the whole system. And for that, a reliable underlying operating system is a key aspect. The most important features of that operating system must be, of course, reliability and security. We want both to be out of the box so that we don't need to spend time on that and we can focus on our application development and reduce time to market. And we also want that operating system to help us reduce OpEx, okay, with tools that can help us, for instance, remote maintenance, and so we don't have to send a technician to the field, which is something sometimes even more expensive than the device itself. So from an application perspective, one of the most important projects nowadays is EdgeX. It is not the only one, of course, okay, but it is one which I think that it is quite remarkable. EdgeX is an open source framework under the umbrella of the Linux Foundation with a huge community behind for building edge applications. So this means that you can develop edge applications and services using that framework, and you generate middleware which allows us to channel data from the sensors and actuators to the cloud. It is modular, allowing the developers to add plug-and-play services in a very flexible way, allowing interoperability between devices and applications. And it has a wide variety of use cases across different verticals with the different working groups in the Linux Foundation umbrella and so on, the LFH. These working groups, for instance, are focused on retail or industrial solutions, for instance. And what is Ubuntu Core? Ubuntu Core is Canonical's proposal for that ultra-reliable underlying operating system that I mentioned earlier. The first important thing that we must keep in mind is that Ubuntu Core is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is one of the most popular distributions among developers, so the learning curve is really fast, and so is also productivity. And of course, it is open source. Ubuntu Core is a lightweight cross version of Ubuntu with a limited set of packages, which keeps it simple and constrained, and which is targeted for IoT and edge products. The second important thing to say is that Ubuntu Core is an operating system fully containerized. It is fully built from snaps. This is something that makes it unique among the rest of the solutions available in the market or in the open source community nowadays. Ubuntu Core has been designed with the goal of creating the most secure embedded Linux ever, okay? Because we strongly believe that every device, even the smallest one, should be trustworthy and secure. And Ubuntu Core was born with that premise. And for that reason, there are features like secure boot, full disk encryption, or even the secure nature of snaps are there. The system has, for instance, the ability to make a rollback in the case of a failure during an update. And finally, the whole process of image generation, device programming, and onboarding has been designed for optimum performance and as a solution targeted for production at mass scale with minimum human interaction. So the goal is what I mentioned earlier, is to simplify operations and reduce maintenance costs, making the devices reliable and easy to maintain. And we also know that devices in the field, in the IoT and edge scenario, must be in the field for a long time. Okay, so keeping them updated with security updates and application updates and so on is really of great importance. Okay, so that's something that we are currently seeing continuously at the news, that devices can be compromised or hacked. Okay, so keeping them up to date from CV, common vulnerabilities, and so on is a crucial part. And Canonical offers services of long-term support and updates for up to 10 years. Okay. As I don't want to enter in deeper detail. Maybe if someone has some question after, we can go into that. But I think that we can jump directly into the demo. Okay, what we are going to see is a kind of emulation of a retail store. Okay, we have a camera and an RFID device. The camera is periodically taking snapshots and sending images to the cloud. And the RFID reader acts as a detector of elements. Okay, so we detect arrivals and departures of elements, detection and not non-detection of elements. We will see later on that we have this octopus which appears and disappears, which is detected and not detected by the RFID reader. From an EdgeX point of view, okay, we have two device services, one for the camera and one for the RFID, and two application services, one for connecting to the cloud. We have an InfluxDB instance with a Grafana board for watching. We will see later where the events, and the other one keeping the inventory of the device. Okay, so I will try to show a video. Let me share now this. Can you see the console? Yeah, I think so.
Yes, yeah, we can.
Yeah, okay. So first, what we are going to see is the system internally. Okay, we log into the system. Okay, we see that it is an Ubuntu Core machine. Okay, we can check the list of snaps. Here in the list of snaps, we see there are some base and core elements, which are the default ones for Ubuntu Core, and then we have the EdgeX services which are running. Okay, we have EdgeX Foundry, which is the core element of the system of EdgeX, and different services for the camera and the RFID. Okay, let's jump a little bit further. Okay, we can see the services which are running. These services are currently inactive. Okay, because what I want to show you is how to launch these services manually and see roughly which is the process, but they could of course be configured to be launched automatically. We can see the configuration of the camera. Okay, the camera has its IP address and it is taking snapshots every 5 seconds. Okay, and we see the list of the devices. It is empty right now because we don't have any service running. We start the service of the camera and then we detect the first device, which is the camera. all these manual steps could be done automatically. Okay, so this is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, we can see these readings. The readings are the snapshots that the camera is taking. So we can see that every 5 seconds we have a snapshot of the camera. If we go a little further, okay, we start the services related to the RFID, and we start the discovery of the device. Okay, so now in the device list, we have the RFID reader, which appears here. And we can see the different commands that we can send to EdgeX in order to interact with the different device services. Okay, so these are the different commands so that we can just, for instance, get configuration or start or stop a measurement or whatever. Okay, you go a little further. Okay, we can see here the configuration of the RFID reader. Here we configure some thresholds of related to how the RFID reader is going to read. We start the service, which makes it which starts the reads. Okay, and here what we do is to make use of one of those commands that I mentioned earlier, which is just sending a configuration to the device. Okay, this could also be automatically done, but we can also do a manual configuration with the API. And we start the reading. Okay, so right now we start listing the events that the RFID reader is doing. Okay, we have right now we have moved one of the elements close to the RFID reader so that it is detected, and then it is detected when the element which is getting close to the RFID reader is removed. Okay, and that's it. So, and we can go to the next one where we will see. Okay, here. Okay, let me just describe for a sec what we are going to see here. On the upper side, we can see the number of events. On the upper left and the upper right sides, we see the events of the element when the element arrives and is gone. We also have a time graph where we will see the different events and the timestamp when it is when they are happening. And we have the snapshots of the camera that has been taken from the camera. Okay, so okay, we will see here how Sigi, who is our developer, but also our demo master, is putting on top of the table where the RFID reader is the octopus. It is detected. We can see here this green bar, and when he removes it, then we detect the that it has been removed from the RFID. And then again, we can take it close. We see here that the events are increased and it is removed. And that's it. That's the demo part. And let's go back to the, okay, let's go back to the slides. Okay, so wrapping up, what we have seen today is EdgeX running on Ubuntu Core and the benefits of both, which are basically time to market acceleration, OpEx reduction, security, and reliability. Okay, in the demo, we are just watching how easy it is to create and deploy everything. But okay, I think that it is really interesting to know about everything which is beneath that, the underlying operating system and the EdgeX as a framework, because they provide or they allow us to create really powerful and reliable edge computing devices. So that's it. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation, and please feel free to contact us if you have any doubt. Okay, there is a lot of information in Canonical's and Ubuntu webpage, and we have also lots of trainings and webinars and in BrightTalk and YouTube. And we are also preparing a meetup with along with TIPCO for by the end of June. Okay, so I think that we will have more time than 15 minutes to showcase this
Yeah.
yeah, in a more extended way. Okay, so thank you very much.